Doing the pre-show?
Pre-show.
Whoa!
All right, guys. Welcome to the Post Pro Podcast. We talk about movies and movie stuff. You did! Yeah! All right, this is our first podcast. We got a lot of stuff going on in the movie world right now.
We're not gonna say the name. We're not gonna say the name, but you already know what we're talking about. The C word.
The C word?
Corona.
Oh shit! You said it, guys.
Oh,
That virus thing.
It's really messed up a lot of stuff.
Very big, very bad.
Very big, very bad.
Very bad.
Very
Two
bad.
words. Very big words.
Stick the hell out.
Very bad.
Please take that one off.
Please take that
I can
off.
see your eyes through it. It just
Absolutely
makes me uncomfortable.
Absolutely not.
So we force it off him by the end of the podcast.
Yes.
No.
Alright. So we were gonna talk about the state of movie theaters, especially after, the whole two-word thing has been going on, right? A lot of theaters shutting down and a lot of movies going online. We want to talk about how that might affect the movie industry and how that might affect theaters in specific, with a lot of stuff going online and a lot of stuff,
Just not being, we're not being able to watch.
Yeah, you don't get the theater experience. No time the guy gets pushed back. So is
That was really the first one that.
Yeah,
that
that-
really.
And now Onward is on digital,
yeah, already.
and it barely got a week in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Barely.
it had a few weeks.
What, 2?
Came out what, the 6th?
I think the third.
Was it?
Has anyone seen the numbers that it's made?
It made like $50,000 last week or something, or the week before.
It made like 80 million before I guess it closed.
It
That's
didn't-
not bad, though.
Yeah, but it didn't
It
do
had a budget of
as
120.
well.
But and it premiered in China.
Well, I mean, considering the circumstances.
It didn't get China box office.
And that's the thing with China's box office being totally shut down right now.
Which is exactly like the
Mhm.
reason for No Time to Die getting pushed back.
Yeah.
And Sonic didn't make as much money as it should have because China.
Oh my god, if it was open to China, that movie would have got like 5 sequels already in production.
It's gonna get a sequel.
It is getting.
Speaking of 5 sequels, did you hear that Norma the North just came out with its 4th movie this year and a 5th one's in production?
Really?
Wait, know what Norma the North is? I'm not gonna-
I didn't
You
know
know what
that.
Norma the North is?
It's Rob Schneider.
Rob
right?
Schneider
Rob
plays an
Schneider?
animated, really badly animated polar
Actually,
bear.
I have heard of that.
Yeah. It made so much. It wasn't even supposed to come out theatrically, but
was a
it did.
It went straight to DVD, right?
Well, no, the first one
It came out.
theatrically.
Yeah.
It was
But every
supposed to
other
go.
one-
It was supposed to go out straight to
Everyone
video.
has every other one been straight to DVD? Because I haven't. Okay, I was gonna say. It
But the
reminds
first
me
one
of,
made so much money that they greenlit like 4 sequels,
Wow.
and is considered one of the worst animated
Wow.
family films of all time.
Lovely.
That
It's
is
like
insane.
what was it? The Sled Dogs movie. What was?
Oh my god.
Arctic Dogs. Arctic Dogs.
Did you
Arctic
see it?
Dogs.
No, I wanted to. I
Never
think I
done
never
it.
did. Did you?
No, I would always walk in and watch it and be like, this exists.
See, I was never on walks.
Kids movies.
And if you're confused about what this man said about walks, we all
No.
used to
No.
work at a movie theater joint.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disclose
Just like
the name
how
of
it's
the
a,
joint,
it's like a Spike Lee joint whenever he makes
A
his
Spike Lee
movies.
joint.
Yeah.
but we all were movie theater employees here. So
I agree.
I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
We worked at a movie theater.
So-
Because of a certain situation going on, it's no
back
longer. But yeah, we need to
to
go back a little
the
bit.
fact that movie theaters have been shutting down. So I guess the worry here is that like box office revenue, but I don't think when this all is over, I don't think they're gonna be releasing straight to VOD anymore. They're gonna go back to the theater plan, I guess maybe. I don't know how to put it. But that's because of how easy it is to create pirates for the movies and then they're just on some website online. They're gonna make so much less money if it's just on VOD.
Yeah.
I think for Hollywood to survive as an industry, theaters need to be a thing because overpriced tickets is what makes Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, and movie theaters money.
Yeah. Well, concessions in that case.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like,
Mhm.
By
Yeah.
proxy. No one just, very few people come in just looking for concessions.
Well, it's happened.
it's tempting.
I had to change my sentence there a little bit. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Oh no, I'm on door and they're just like,
Shit, no God.
and they're just like, I just want some popcorn, please. Can I
Yeah, I just
stand?"
came to get some popcorn.
Yeah,
That's absolutely fine. Just don't sneak into the movie.
Oh my god, I had some kids one day, it was like one of my first weeks working. They walked up with tickets to Joker, or not to Joker. They walked up with tickets to Downton Abbey, and they were both like 11, and they were obviously on a date too. And I just looked at them, looked at the tickets, looked at them, and they were like quivering. It was so funny. I let him through, and I think Leaf. No, it wasn't Leaf. Leaf was never on the wall.
So I got a question. So who here believes that everything going on with the two-worded thing, who here believes that this right now is the start of the death of cinema? And not cinema, but cinemas, theaters.
The movie-going experience.
I think slightly.
I think it will hurt it, but it will eventually recoup.
Yeah, no, I think what it's going to do most, it's going to hurt the independent film, like theaters that literally just live off of indie film, and hosting A24 or hosting any type of like independent film. Like if Collin made a film and he got it approved to show it at an independent theater, those are the type of theaters that are not going to be surviving, I think, in the next couple of years.
So, like,
with this whole
independent theaters?
Independent theaters.
Really? I don't know. I feel like independent theaters, like the Enzion, has such a dedicated like clientele that they'll continue to go. You know,
I think they'll bounce back.
I think it's the smaller ones like the Seminole Town Center.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I think in the next 5 years, though, I still think theaters are going to go down because streaming is taking over, and Netflix is showing a lot of competence when they're coming out with films like The Irishman.
Sure.
Because
there's got to be a something new, an incentive of something new to go to.
Absolutely.
Which,
yeah, for sure.
I guess, definitely for like the general public, because like I just love the theater experience.
Right.
I'm never gonna stop going to the theater because I love getting my.
Because there are movies that you have to see.
Yeah.
There are movies that you have, like Tenet.
Uh-huh.
You can't watch that on your TV. You have to go to IMAX and watch that movie on the big screen.
Birds of Prey in IMAX,
Yeah, I mean, or like 4DX.
By proxy, Birds of Prey and IMAX was kind of Tenet in IMAX, so.
That was the best part of Birds of Prey. Seeing that IMAX teaser.
Which I wish I had known about, because I would have went and saw it in IMAX.
Yeah,
me too.
Like,
that was incredible. Did you know about that, Jordan?
Yeah, I saw it.
Sponsored by
you saw it?
Christopher Nolan. Hit us up.
Yeah.
You saw it?
I'm still not excited for Tenet. I'm just not.
How?
What? Okay, yeah. Let's go back over this. This man doesn't like Nolan. Okay.
That's not true.
Okay, yeah.
Well, explain.
Explain. It's not that I dislike Nolan. It's that I am not as hyped up as most people are about him.
What
movies
have you seen in specific? Have you seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
Yeah, of course.
I'm
a blockbuster guy.
Agree.
This is the blockbuster couch.
Yeah.
I've seen.
I'm slightly cultured.
Are blockbusters.
Slightly cultured.
Besides like Memento, The Following.
I would say I'm slightly cultured. This man's full blockbuster.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, every once in a while you watch a good
movies,
movie, but I mean,
damn.
you're more a bandwagon. Is that fair to say?
Oh my God, we got some hot.
That is not fair to say. I do not.
I mean, you're like the biggest like Avengers dick sucker I know.
Because the Avengers movies are great.
So Collin.
I feel like we're getting off track here.
Just a little bit.
No.
Well, we can talk about Tenet later on, or like we can talk about Christopher Nolan later on.
All right. So I guess the theater experience won't die. I'll bounce back after the 2-word epidemic.
Because there are people that love to see movies in theaters, and there are movies you have to see in theaters. But at the same time, there has to be some sort of new invention or new technology that theaters are going to utilize.
4DX.
Sure.
Dolby's phenomenal. Dolby's
exactly.
my favorite way to watch a movie.
Another thing is, movie prices are so expensive. Now they're continuing to go up, even with these new formats.
$20.
Yeah,
that's
so
unlimited movies.
They would have to lower the prices.
General public.
That's
they just can't afford it to go.
Yeah, that's
all the time.
Look at streaming. It's $10 a month.
Exactly.
If Netflix has gone up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so there either has to be some sort of crazy new technology that theaters are going to implement to make it where like you have to go see it, or they're going to have to.
That's available for everyone.
Or they're just going to have to start showing adult films.
I mean, I know I
back to the 70s.
It's like American Werewolf in London.
It's where you can really go for a taxi driver scene, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
You can take your date to an adult film.
Yeah, like a taxi driver. Yeah.
Deep Throat.
Deep Throat.
That was like the first like main porno movie ever to be featured in a theater.
Huh.
Fun fact.
More you know.
Roger Ebert, I think that was one of his first reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
He started off reviewing like.
Was that the first rated?
So let's
yeah.
switch gears here for a little bit.
So
I don't think
why
so.
don't we? Let's go around starting with Jordan. What's the best movie each of us watched this week?
This week,
Yeah.
and we're starting with me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's easily Lady Bird.
Yeah.
I watched it for the first time last night.
For the first time.
Thoroughly impressed.
Oh, it's really
And see,
It's-
and I wrote this in my review that Thomas totally read, 100%. I went into it knowing that it was going to be a good film, easy, because like everyone talks about it, it's this great thing. But I was a little hesitant to just be like, "This is great." I kind of was standoffish with it.
Mhm.
But as I kept watching and watching, I just kept falling more and more into it. Something about it just really grabbed me. And then
it's very real.
yeah, and then by the end of it, I felt like I was just a fly on the wall in the room. It didn't feel like I was even
I
watching.
think I'm
a
the
movie.
minority here. I did not like.
You don't like
at all.
Lady Bird?
No.
Here, let me. I think one of the most magical parts about Lady Bird is that somewhere in the film you're gonna be able to find a way to connect to it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Exactly.
really
And once
real,
it
yeah.
pulls you in, you're just like, oh fuck, her mom.
I didn't like it.
No,
Which is
like
crazy.
at all.
Now, what didn't you like?
yeah.
Can we talk about that?
I just, it just feels like a Tumblr girl movie. It feels like
Well, what does that mean? You got to give a definition.
Well, okay, so it feels like one of those movies that like girls or like some type of like edgy teenager would watch, and they would just go like, I connect with this movie so much. It speaks to my soul. Like, it just not my thing. I don't get me wrong.
Well, girls have to have
Beautiful
their
show.
movies too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, don't get me wrong.
Not
Beautiful
everyone
show.
can just be about
And
Star
The
Wars.
leading actress, don't know her name.
Saoirse
Saoirse
Ronan.
Ronan.
She's great. Directing great. Same person that did
Greta Gerwig.
Greta
Yes.
Gerwig.
Yeah, Little Women.
Yeah.
good, fantastic. I thought it was good, but just not my thing. Just it's something I can't get back. I can say that about a
What
lot
is
of
the mom's
movies.
name? Lori Metcalf?
Yeah. She got nominated for an Oscar.
Very surprised.
She was
great.
I went into that knowing her as
Oh my god.
the lady from Roseanne and the mom from Big Bang Theory.
Of course.
And
was it?
she was amazing in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Like,
it? It's like,
so good.
of course, Birdie, I love you, but do you like me? That's oh man.
Dude,
Line.
Lady Bird. I remember crying in the theater. Like.
Oh
Really?
damn.
Yeah. I mean it.
I watched it on a shift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was only one person in the theater, and I was on walk, so I sat down and watched it.
I can say it personally really connected with me too, and maybe I'm a Tumblr girl.
Maybe
It's
you
And
are.
you know
funny-
what?
it's
That's
funny-
okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure,
It's
it's
funny
because
because
like,
like
my thing.
I don't think I'm anything really like the main character, but I was able to at least relate in some
Exactly.
sense. You know? Yeah.
I mean, it's like Joker.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, a little bit. I mean,
yeah, when I killed those two guys on the subway, I really related to that scene.
well, not that scene. I'm just talking about his,
I know.
perception of the world.
Mhm.
You know?
You can relate to the human aspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
speaking of that, moving on to the best movie Sebastian watched this week.
Oh yeah, what movies have I watched this week? So I have watched. I introduced my mom. I'm trying to get my mom to watch a lot more film snub movies, or just solid movies. So I introduced her to Watiti. So I had her watch Jojo Rabbit. Then I had her watch Joker a while ago, but I just rewatched it again with my sister. And then I showed her Uncut Gems, and she hated all three. She thought all three of these films were awful. And she said, Jojo Rabbit she did like.
Okay.
So Jojo Rabbit she liked. So she hated Uncut Gems. She did not like The Lighthouse, but I showed her that a while ago. And then I showed her Joker, and she did not like those three. Those are the three she did not like, and those are current, relevant movies that people are watching. So she hated Uncut Gems because she told me that it does not have a plot or a story,
Which is crazy.
which is absolutely
It's
incorrect. But
It's
if
just
I remember,
incorrect.
she's not the only one thinking
No.
this.
Yeah.
Correct?
Two of our coworkers also didn't enjoy it that much. Opinions be opinions, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now I can completely understand not liking
Oh, yeah.
Uncut Gems.
It's a very different film.
Yeah. And its ending is totally unconventional.
Mhm.
You know.
But it's great though.
Oh yeah, exactly.
My mom just didn't like him as a character.
Which
Because
is fair.
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah,
why am I-
that's totally fair.
You're not really
Yeah, but-
supposed to like him.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
honestly.
but she's like, why am I watching a movie about an asshole? She's
Mhm.
like, why should I care about anything that happens in this movie when I do not like the main character at all?
And
You know?
I guess that's very person to person too, because it's the same thing with like Nightcrawler or Good Time, where all three of them are characters that you really want to hate. Or one of the movies I'm going to be talking about soon, The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I really actually like. We're all characters who are the anti-heroes, but you still like them maybe because of a character or like an actor's charisma. Like with Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal is just so charismatic in it.
One of my
Same thing
favorites,
with
too.
Robbie Pat, in Good Time. It's just, you can't draw your eyes away. You're just like, please don't fuck up again.
Now, can we talk about the Joker controversy real quick? Because I thought it's so funny, like, looking back on that.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
how everyone freaked out about it. Like, it was going to cause mass shootings and all these people, like,
That
in the
was,
streets. And then now we're, like, what, 6 months? How long has it been since I've been
Came out in, what, October?
It's been a while. It's been a good bit now, but, like, nothing happened.
No.
Absolutely
I knew
nothing.
nothing was going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
People
just-
really thought
I
stuff
know,
was
and the
going to,
media
yeah.
was
And
like
the
so
media
quick
blew it out
to
of
jump on that
proportion, too.
movie and
Yeah.
like shit it to the ground, but I think it's a fantastic film. So
I agree. I wholeheartedly think it's a pretty
I think
great piece
for
of cinema.
a superhero film, I think it's one of the best ever made so
Mhm.
far. Into this current superhero subgenre we're going towards, because I'd like to see a lot more movies like Joker, maybe by Todd Phillips.
It's
I don't
very
know.
much
the
not like a
character
superhero
study.
Yes,
anyway.
yeah. I'd love to see Mr. Freeze. I've said that. I'm a big Batman fan, and I think if they were ever to tackle another villain, I'd love to see
Speaking
Mr.
of,
Freeze.
actually, personally, if they ever did another like kind of character study on that Batman villain, a Scarecrow character study, it would be dope as hell.
that
Yeah.
would be pretty
That'd be
cool.
fucking
Yeah.
sick.
I just think Mr. Freeze would be an absolute heart wrench to watch.
So, but going back, what do you think was the best movie you watched this week? Do you think it was Joker?
Well, I watched a couple other movies this week.
Did you watch anything for the first time?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, well, that was last week.
Let's talk about it.
Well, I watched
I didn't have a podcast
Inside.
this week.
What's it? Inside Lumen.
Oh, Inside Llewyn Davis.
That's
Yes.
what I was doing,
Yeah, I haven't
Well,
seen
I'd
it.
never seen it. I
Cool.
loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's fantastic.
Are you a fan?
I was in that movie, by the way. Anyway,
He was. Are you a fan of God? What's his name?
Are you a fan of God?
no.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, time to switch gears.
Welcome back to...
Poe. Oscar Isaac.
Oscar
So are you a
Isaac,
fan of
yes.
Oscar Isaac's acting?
Um,
Because I think he's fantastic.
I think he's a very, very good actor, and I'd like to see him in more stuff.
I
I
agree.
know-
I think he's a little underutilized. At
Yeah,
this
no,
point.
He's in Dune, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
he's gonna be one of the dudes in
You
Dune.
know,
Oh
one
my
of the
God, what
funny
a
thing
cast.
was when I first saw Star Wars Episode 7,
He was like
I had no idea who he was,
Mhm.
but he had been in quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, that's
Ex
like
Machina.
inside
He was in Machina,
Ex
yeah.
Machina. He's
Ex
in
Machina
Drive.
is so good in.
Yeah, he's in Drive.
Love
He-
Drive.
and I saw all those movies later, so I was like, dang, this guy's been in a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Good,
Colin,
man. Good actor.
what'd you watch this week?
All right, let's see.
I watched quite a bit, but
Let's go over your favorites that you watched this week.
right now, I mean, I'm currently doing my.
Plug your letterboxd.
I'll do that. I'll add it in post.
It'll be in the description.
Plug mine too.
But so for film school right now, I'm doing the project for class where I have to compare two directors. So I'm doing David Lynch and Lars von Trier.
You're a film student?
Yeah, I go to film school. So I haven't watched any von Trier this week, but I did catch a couple of David Lynch movies. Wild at Heart, which is with Laura Dern and Nick Cage. And it was like the first movie where, you know, the zany
Cage.
classic Nick Cage
Really?
just really worked for me, you know?
What about Mandy?
I didn't like Mandy. I didn't care for
It's
it.
because I think that's a movie where, even though I don't consider it fantastic film, I think that is that is Cage being Cage, and it works because
Yeah.
he's so zany and off the wall and just ridiculous that it just works so perfectly with the way
But
the film
I
goes.
thought for Mandy, and I'll just keep it brief, but like how the film opened up, like the first half established a much more seriously toned than the latter half.
Can we just
I
make
felt
this a
like
Nicolas
that
Cage
clashed.
podcast?
Yeah, dude. The Nick
But-
Cast.
With as absurd and surreal as David Lynch is, I felt like in Wild at Heart, his
You know, it actually makes a lot of
Style
sense to me. You know,
yeah, it worked for me.
who's the guy who plays the main bad replicant in Blade Runner? You know his name off the top of your head, Sebastian?
I know the character's name.
Yeah, what's the
I
character's
can't remember
name?
the actor's name.
Oh man, I played myself.
Oh shit, dude.
We gotta look it up.
But I feel like in his style of acting,
Roy Batty. That's
Yeah.
his character's name. Yeah.
I feel like in his style of acting, I could have also really worked in David Lynch. I'm sure
Rutger
he's
Hauer.
serious. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, he just passed away, sadly.
Yeah,
so.
sadly. Rest in peace, still the past amazing actors.
Harvey Weinstein, rest in peace.
Not dead yet,
Doesn't
but
he have
please don't
corona?
rest
He
in
has
peace.
coronavirus, yes, he does.
Okay.
But I feel like actors who can really express themselves in an extremely kind of zany and really, I guess, just extreme way
Yeah.
would have worked really well for Lynch's style.
Yeah.
Has Willem Dafoe been anything by Lynch?
He was in Wild at Heart.
Really?
He was absolutely crazy in that movie.
I
he
love
was terrifying.
I
He was
think I have
absolutely
to watch
terrifying.
it now.
Yeah, you gotta see it. It was pretty good. But then I watched Lost Highway by David Lynch, which is like catapulted up to I think my second favorite David Lynch movie. It was amazing.
See, I watched my favorite A24 movie this week too.
Yeah.
So.
But this movie absolutely blew me away. It's so hard to explain. It deals with like doppelgangers and alternate timelines and.
Sounds like a Lynch movie.
Yes.
I haven't seen it. I haven't dived that deep into Lynch. I've seen Eraserhead. I don't know what to say about Eraserhead, to be honest. I can't even comprehend that film.
Eraserhead's one of those movies where it's like, it's so weird, I don't get like anything, but I still liked it. My Letterboxd review was literally bold, italics, what the fuck?
Yeah.
After I've seen Eraserhead, I haven't done a deep dive on him because that movie was just like, I was like, what the fuck?
See, I was so ready to do a deep dive, but
Dude, you gotta do it.
I will.
You gotta
I want
continue
to, too, as
because
well, but-
like so after I watched Lost Highway, I introduced my family to Mulholland Drive, which is my favorite Lynch film, and my mom walked out within the first 20 minutes.
Really?
Well, you gotta understand, my mom is the kind of person who likes Pixar, Disney movies, and that's about it. You know, if there's violence or cursing or like it's just too much for her. You know, she's just like.
So she would have
I'll walk
hated Joker.
away. Oh yeah, she would have hated Joker. She couldn't have
The
watched.
Joker?
She just couldn't have watched it. You know, it's not like she has anything like against movies like that. She
Yeah.
she just can't
That's
watch
just
it.
not her thing.
Yeah, and my brother really liked it, and my dad he was also kind of interested. You know, and then other than that, I'm doing a project for my other class. We're watching PTA films, so I watched Boogie Nights and Magnolia. Both of those were great.
Yeah, I mean, I think Magnolia could be considered a masterpiece in the way that he blends all the characters together,
It's
and the way
an
that it
epic.
all comes. It's definitely an epic.
Now, what did you watch this week?
All right, let's go. So I'm gonna go. I had 2 4.5s and 1 5-star this week actually. So I go through those, right? I watched. I started the week with The Prestige, which
Masterpiece. I think it's.
I don't know.
I think it's
He
phenomenal.
gave it a 3.5 stars.
I think the Prestige is phenomenal.
So do I.
I really liked it, and 3.5 is still really good.
I just didn't
but
see the
it's
twist
definitely
coming,
closer to
like
4.
at all. Like I
See,
won't spoilers, but.
But the twist to me was kind of we gotta like kind of walk over the
Spoiler warning.
Unexplainable science was a bit disappointing
Well-
towards that, and like how was it? Close your ears.
No, just go for it.
How was the twin never found out? I guess the level of commitment. I think, and like I said in my review, I think that's one that on a rewatch, I think I just fucking it'd kill me. I think it'd be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
amazing.
You notice a lot more things when you rewatch it,
Uh-huh.
and things piece together a lot more.
I just.
Mhm.
God bless David Bowie, by the way. He was Tesla in that movie.
Oh,
What a man
yeah,
that was. Yeah,
that was David Bowie. Yeah.
that's David Bowie.
He's great. He's
5 out
great
of
in that.
5. Wow.
If you're gonna say unexplainable science, like a little history. I mean, Tesla, dude, was all about unexplainable science. That was his whole thing.
And that's fair, but I just couldn't get with the fact that they made another person out of a person. You can't do
Holy
that.
Tom
Gemini
I realized that halfway when I said that, I was like, I'm going for
The
it.
way you,
Ladies and gentlemen, we found our weekly meme.
Ang Lee?
For the visionary mind of Ang Lee. I definitely think it was good, right? And speaking of good, Memento. Wow. So
Or
that's
his-
one of the ones.
that was his debut film, right?
No,
No,
Fallen
no.
was his debut. Memento was his second.
Yeah.
Memento was his first one that was like he had a really big budget. He really got the ability to go.
It's
That was his first.
It's a classic.
studio production.
Yeah.
I can't. Are they still going with the remake, by the way?
They're remaking
I hope
Memento.
not.
Because I've heard that they are trying to remake it.
I
Yeah.
don't think
Am I
anyone
wrong?
except
No, you were.
could do Memento.
Well, apparently he was
Oh, he was
signed
on
to
board.
produce it. like co-produced it or something like that.
Is it?
I can look it up.
I need Nolan directing and writing a remake of Memento for Memento, but I think Memento is fantastic, and I think between Memento and Prestige, Christopher Nolan showed that, oh my god, he knows how to frame a story so well.
Yeah.
Like the way that it like bounces in between the timelines and
he's 100% one of the best living directors.
I agree.
There's no denying that.
And I guess in the Prestige's case, the way the timelines connect and blend into each other, but Memento just, I think that finale, that twist got me.
Dude, every time I rewatch Memento, I always figure out some other thing that I'm like, holy crap. What? But it says the Memento remake is currently in development.
Does it have a director attached?
No. So it's
they
probably
they are trying to
early
remake
stages.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan is credited as an original screenplay writer.
Oh, okay.
Which probably just means
he wrote
based on the idea. Adapted from the original.
So now it's gonna be adapted from his brother's short story. Adapted
do
from
you want to know what I just thought of? And if this happened, like I'm gonna call this right now. They are gonna make Memento a horror movie by Blumhouse.
No,
if that
I'm calling it. I'm calling it. I'm telling you right now that's what's going to happen.
If Christopher Nolan's a producer, he has more integrity than that.
Yeah.
I just know, I can see it. I pictured so perfectly.
But at the same time, you saying that, one of my favorite movies of all time, Whiplash, is the Blumhouse movie. So
that is true. Yeah. But that was when Blumhouse was like.
That's early.
That was like early
Blumhouse.
Yeah. Now Blumhouse is established enough to just do whatever they want, and all they want to make is crappy horror.
Shitty horror.
Yeah.
Well,
does it make some money, dude?
Yeah, because
exactly.
it is really smart. They give $5 million to its director, and it pulls back 20 in the box office.
Because all the stupid teenagers will go out and see a PG-13 horror movie.
But moving to my next
all
one,
they do.
right? Memento, amazing.
Yeah, Memento, awesome.
But have any of you guys watched, heard of, or know about the talented Mr. Ripley?
Yes, my brother actually just watched.
I'm going to be real. I've only heard the name, but I have no idea anything about it.
Heard the name.
I thought it was fantastic. Like, so it's
Who's it by?
It's less. I hadn't heard this director until I heard
Damon
it.
and Jude Law.
Yeah, it's Damon, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kate Winslet.
That's a stacked cast.
Yeah.
And my favorite actor, Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it too. And
So
Did not know who's your favorite actor. Interesting.
Synecdoche, New York.
I really liked him in Magnolia.
He's amazing in anything he's ever been.
Yeah. Mission Impossible 3. He's absolutely terrifying in that movie.
he is.
Probably the best living actor of his generation. Rest in peace. God bless your soul.
Joaquin.
I'm sorry. I love Joaquin, but I think the way Philip Seymour Hoffman just transforms into his characters.
Seeing he and Joaquin in The Master was.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. That's,
Oh my God.
They're like two fantastic.
Two of the best
actors.
performances. And then who's the girl? It's
Philip Seymour Hoffman won for that movie, right?
No, it was Joaquin got nominated, Hoffman got nominated, and
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams also got nominated. Oh my god, if I rewatched The Master, I think that's
We're watching it in my class later this semester, yeah.
Shit. No, Philip Seymour Hoffman's one was for Capote. But, so A Talented Mr. Ripley, I thought was fantastic, as it was definitely one of the first anti-hero stories too, and just the way that you kind of go with Matt Damon's character, because over time he kind of becomes evil. I won't spoil anything for you guys. You should definitely watch it. It's on Netflix too. You guys should watch it too. The way that Matt Damon's character just devolves over time, and like how his character is set up, and just every character in the movie is just amazing. And Jude Law is the ultimate frat bro in this.
That's my brother.
I can't imagine that. By the way,
so great. Jude Law? No.
A young Jude Law though?
Well, see, I haven't seen a young Jude Law.
It's pretty great. You should watch this. Jude Law is just like, I'm gay now.
Now, wait, hold on. So, wasn't Jude Law? Oh God, what shitty movie was he?
Captain Marvel.
Not Captain
Hey!
Marvel. No, we don't want to get demonetized. Captain Marvel was a masterpiece.
People
fantastic film.
Okay.
No, what shitty movie was Jude Law in? He was like the main character. It was like was it? God damn it! Something pissed me off.
Let's look.
He it was like a western or something, if I remember correctly. Or he's in an abominable movie. I know this for a
I
fact.
mean, a lot of actors are in abominable.
I know, but I'm talking about like I just
The
remembered it
Fanatic?
just now. No, not The Fanatic. It's I want to say it's a DC film. It's it was Jonah Hex. Was it Jonah Hex? Was he Jonah Hex?
He definitely wasn't the lead in Jonah Hex.
feel like he was in Jonah Hex.
Huh, I don't see it.
Whatever. I know he was in something really awful. That's all I remember Jude Law.
One of my favorite things about Jude Law is that one of his highest, one of his best known credits for was in Grand Budapest Hotel. Where he's in that movie for like 3 minutes.
Not even, yeah.
Not even. He has like one scene. I don't see it.
No, he's not an R.I.P.D., is he?
No, it was Ryan Reynolds.
It was Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Of course it was Ryan Reynolds.
But alright, so I'd highly recommend Thomas and Mr. Ripley.
Yeah, what was your...
think-
Well, I know what your 5-star was.
Oh, and then okay.
Yeah, what was your 5-star masterpiece review?
It's got Shia LaBeouf.
A24. It's got Shia LaBeouf. It's an A24 movie. It's American Honey.
Okay.
Okay.
I've heard of it, never
thought
saw it.
American Honey
I haven't seen
was
it.
a beautiful take on, like, it was in the idea, it was a character study. Story. Apparently I can't say study.
Honey Boy?
But story.
Honey Boy?
I like Honey Boy, that's the thing. Okay, I really like Honey Boy. I'm not afraid to say it. But, so American Honey is about a group of, oh my god,
Outcast.
it's so out of date that I'm forgetting, even though I just watched the movie.
Rascals.
Magazine salesmen, right? They go door to door and they sell magazines, but they just party, right? And it's like, it's such a great depiction of like a trashy lifestyle, I guess. And it's just like such a great depiction of like low class, or not low class, like so middle class, low class, like low class youth, just like going with it. And they were like, they weren't brought up in the right circumstances. And they just said, fuck it, we're just hopping on this train. And I thought it was so beautiful. And like, it presented a love story, it presented a coming of age story, it presented a great character study. I thought it was a beautiful film.
I heard it was
And-
really
When was
good.
this made, by the way?
2016, yeah. And I mean, like, I watched it, and ending shot, if anyone has seen it, it's phenomenal.
What's with
It's
Shia
something
LaBeouf
so
and honey?
crazy.
Like, is he like a honey fetish? Like what? Like,
Apparently.
like
Ooh, we need to see a B-movie sequel with
Shia LaBeouf is the lead.
I mean, I loved Peanut Butter Falcon.
I thought Peanut Butter Falcon was solid.
I thought it was
I don't
no.
think it was anything near Honey Boy.
No, I thought it was good.
I thought they were about the same.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I thought Honey Boy was okay.
I love the ending of Peanut Butter Falcon. You're not invited to my birthday party, and throws some guy who's like 5 times his weight over like 10 feet. It was
I
hilarious.
think Shia LaBeouf honestly is just. I find him fascinating. I really do. I find him like so fascinating. I think he's a wonderful actor.
Yeah,
I love him.
These
I really
past, like, Peanut Butter Falcon and Honey Boy, I was like,
He's
wow,
back.
my eyes were really opening to
Yeah,
Shia
we
LaBeouf.
got a LaBeouf
But I think
resurgence.
American Honey should have been like that point where it was the LaBeouf resurgence. He's so good in this movie. He's such like a captivating guy. Who's like a dick, but you love him. Kind of the same way Jude Law was.
I mean,
in
dude, I
Dallas.
love like he's just. Now that he's back, I really did miss seeing Shia LaBeouf and stuff because I remember he went off the grid with his crazy paper hat.
Yeah.
When was his whole controversy? Does anyone
I-
remember?
It was
I think
no,
it
it
was
was it was after Transformers 2. So that was
When
what?
Dipped and Marky Mark came onto the scene.
Yeah, no, it was what 2000.
Well,
I want to say it was like,
Transformers 2 was 2009. Transformers 3 was 2011.
it was whenever his last Transformers film.
I'm pretty sure it was after.
It had to
I
be
think it was
after.
around
Oh, yeah.
2014, 2015.
Yeah, maybe even
And
2013.
then we got the masterpieces that are the Marky Mark Transformers movies.
Fuck Transformers.
Hey, Uncharted movie.
I'm a fan of the first 2.
I don't like the
I
first
don't.
one.
Really? What?
Going
I
back-
love the
I
first
think
one.
out of all of them, Bumblebee is the best, and I don't
No,
even really like
no.
Bumblebee that much.
Bumblebee sucks.
But I like
hated
Bumblebee better as a film than the first
You
all
know,
the
thinking
Transformers.
about it, I agree with Sebastian.
I don't agree with
Because
that.
Bumblebee, I see more as a film, and it's better edited than the first
Can we-
Transformers movies.
Talk about how whenever John Cena's in a movie, like the crowd just goes wild. It's just like,
Well,
John Cena's in it, guys!
Well, Rick Fast 9, we gotta wait another year for Fast 9, which is
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. We're gonna do a marathon of Fast and Furious movies, and now we have a whole year to
Damn.
go through them. So, I mean, that's
Damn.
good for us, I guess. We don't have to cram it in like a week. So, because I don't know if I would live if I had to watch every fucking Fast and Furious movie in a week. I would kill myself. I would end
Not
it.
a week. Back to back. Let's go.
Hell no.
Don't sleep.
Dude, no.
No sleep.
Carson Runquist, right? So I guess you and I have talked about you think
Yes.
we won't bring it up in case you watch. We love you. But he watched like all of I'm honestly embarrassed of myself right now. Martin Scorsese movie. I didn't have to look it up. Okay, I didn't.
He didn't watch all of them, but he watched most of them.
Yeah, well, he's missing 2.
Yeah.
There were just like 2 that he couldn't find, but he watched them in like 48 hours. Everyone that he could.
Oh
find.
my god, you watched Silence?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Do you not like Silence?
No, I'm saying like that's like his longest movie. I'm pretty sure.
How long?
That's not.
Somebody tells me
Wolf of
it's-
Wall Street.
No, wait, it's Wolf of Wall Street's longer
Really?
than The Irishman.
Oh wait, The Irishman's longer.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about before Irishman.
Oh, okay.
Wolf-
Because
Wall
I was
Street's
assuming he
3
did this
hours.
before Irishman, correct? Or he did this leading up to watch
No, this is
Irishman?
after Irishman.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was
recently.
after. It was
Yeah,
after.
'cause-
It was recently, but I was just trying to think if it was like before that.
I think debatably, personally, I think Wolf of Wall Street's my favorite Scorsese movie.
I still
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it. Yeah.
I haven't seen too.
Which
many
I don't
Scorsese.
understand how, like,
Wait, what
it's
have you
so
not seen?
good, Wolf of Wall Street.
And you haven't seen it either?
And they talk about being film
I've seen a
stars.
movie that you guys haven't seen? What?
And it's so well known too.
No, I
it's
want
kind of
to
bizarre.
watch it.
Yeah,
My
it's-
dad-
No, but in all seriousness, you
It's-
guys should watch it.
No,
It's
it's,
a good movie.
phenomenal. It's my
Third
favorite.
most F words in a movie.
Really?
Yes, they say
What's first?
They say
Fuck the movie.
It's a
Oh!
documentary. If you don't
Yeah.
count documentaries, it's probably
Yeah.
close to.
No,
I think
if
it is
you don't
number one.
count documentaries, it goes Wolf of Wall Street. I think something else, and then Uncut Gems.
Yeah, Uncut Gems definitely in top 5.
Yeah, and then there was one other one that was pretty neat. That was it. It might have been fucking mid-90s. Fuck shit, that was fucking dope.
That reminds me of
Man,
a really underrated
I
movie.
love that movie, by the way.
I thought it was okay.
Did anyone ever see Dope here?
I like Dope.
You didn't see
Yeah.
Dope?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I love Dope.
I like Dope.
I
quite a
love
bit.
Dope.
That was
yeah.
one that I watched when I was kind of young too, and I was like, cinema.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
So,
Well, getting into movies.
I'd love to
Yeah.
rewatch that next week.
18.
Oh yeah, I guess you were 13.
Yeah, no, I snuck
Yeah, I
into
was
it.
pretty young.
I snuck into it.
It was
17.
a Netflix movie. Dope.
I don't remember. I snuck into it with my friends at a movie theater because
Oh.
they wanted to see it, and we snuck into it, and I remember laughing my ass off. And I will say,
Hey.
I have not watched it since, and I'd love to rewatch it this week, so I might do that
Hey.
because I remember that movie was really good.
Sneaking into it, it's pretty dope.
alright, so Thomas,
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna put you on the hot seat real quick.
Okay.
You got a topic for us? Anything you want to talk about?
Shit.
Hot takes.
What about you,
Hot
dude?
takes?
What about
Alright,
you?
hot takes.
We're gonna go over hot takes, right? So I have a hot take from this week.
I've already said like 10
I
this
guess-
this show so far.
You probably have a hot take from this week.
Not really. Yeah, but yeah.
I always have a fucking hot topic. I mean,
All right.
You're
We'll
hot
go the
topic.
other way because you went
Yeah,
first.
let's
I wish.
All right.
Look at me.
I have 2. I have one that you and I have talked about already, but
Very
I
good.
feel like you and I will talk about this. I don't know if you've heard me say it yet. I think Blue Velvet wasn't my favorite thing in the whole world. It was so...
Me and him are clueless on this, by the way. I haven't seen.
And like,
Blue
okay,
Velvet is a David Lynch film from the 80s.
the other lunch that I've seen, Eraserhead, right? That felt weird because it was weird for its art, you know?
Yeah.
Blue Velvet felt unnecessarily
But see-
weird to me a lot of the time.
Eraserhead to me felt like a weird fucking Lovecraftian film.
Which, yeah, that's why I say I think it's weird for its art. He's kind of showing off, like, look at my fucked up head.
See, and when it comes to Blue Velvet, like, I don't even think Blue Velvet's that weird. And maybe that's because I have
Just
seen a lot
remind me
more
of a hot
Lynch
take.
than you.
Have you...
Well, that's like your perception
know,
of what weird is, though.
Just
Sure.
in the panties and the bikini dancing on the car while he kisses
Yeah.
him on the mouth. It's pretty fucking weird, bro.
Okay, it's weird, but it's done so in an unsettling way. You know, he's
Yeah.
a master at like crafting tension and atmosphere and like such an unsettling mood
That's fair.
with really just strange or obscure,
Mhm.
mundane things. You know, even that opening sequence with the slow mo of the fire truck
yeah.
driving by and the picket fence, and then you delve into the grass and the
And then the
beetles and
beetles.
stuff. You know,
That was one of the other things I didn't get. Like, they establish early on that his dad's in the hospital, and then they don't go back to it.
It's like The Room and Lisa's mom having breast cancer.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention about Telling Mr. Ripley. And we're going to backtrack here a little
Yeah.
bit. But I was actually listening to a podcast driving over here. But The Talented Mr. Ripley was actually the movie that Tommy Wiseau saw in theaters and was like, I want to make a movie that gives me as much emotion as that. And he
Really?
made The Room.
Are you
I
serious?
didn't know.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
no idea.
It was pretty. I mean, if the podcast was being truthful,
Yeah.
because Room was.
2003.
I mean, this is a hot take.
Yeah, and
This is a hot take.
what's up?
I think The Room's a masterpiece. Honestly, and I'm not saying that unironically. I think it's an actual masterpiece.
Well, can we get there in a second? Because I have
Yes.
one thing I wanted to say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have a line.
Yeah. So that's true. I was like,
We'll talk about that. Well, actually, that is a hot
so-
take. Talk about that for your hot take.
I have. You mentioned how we don't really go back to Jeffrey's father that much
Yeah.
in Blue Velvet. So I have an interpretation on this. It is kind of spoiler. I don't know if you guys.
I'm not ever going to do a Lynch run in a bit.
Okay.
It's going to be a while.
So you remember the scene early on? He finds the ear in the field.
Yeah, of course.
And we do a pan into the ear. I see that as like entering another world. It's entering sort of a dream state, and maybe into Jeffrey's subconscious.
So you think it was all a dream?
No, I don't think it's all a dream. I think most of it happened, but I think it's like a distorted view of everything happening. So I think Jeffrey he came home because his father had a stroke.
That's actually a great take.
And he's using this mystery, and sort of sleuthing around as a distraction, so he's not worrying about his father. And so that sort of fear and curiosity that builds within is kind of manifests itself into what's going on, and you don't know whether some of it's real, some of it may not be real, because then how the book ends, how it's very exaggerated and sort of the happy suburban life. Maybe that's the ideal.
Huh.
And
that's actually a good thought, because it is crazy as shit too.
Yeah.
And
because Dennis Hopper, that's one of my favorite performances of all time. He's absolutely terrifying. in
He's
the movie.
pretty funny in it, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's crazy.
You guys got any Heineken?
Heineken, Pabst Blue Ribbon. I love that.
That just reminds me of my friend. I haven't seen this movie, but my friend never shuts the fuck up about Blue Ribbon. So I must have seen this movie. I have to ask him.
Maybe.
That's funny. But that scene at Ben's in particular is one of my favorite Lynch scenes, especially the edit at the end where he says, let's beep, and then he kind of laughs and he exits the frame, and then they're off driving, but it stays in the room.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite edits.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ever anything of there's a really good edit in You Were Never Really Here?
Oh,
Have you seen
man.
it?
Yeah.
You
So
seen it?
good.
I
So good.
yeah.
It's
love
been
it.
a couple years.
You Never Really Here. The scene where he gets out of the car because he sees the person he targets, and then the camera watches him get out. He opens the back door, and you expect it to follow him, and it stops, and you just hear him kidnapping the guy, and he brings him to the car. That scene is, I think, masterful camera.
You get a
work.
good sense of what's happening out
It's-
of frame.
It's masterful, oh god, I wrote a review for it that I liked a lot. But it's a masterful use of not moving the camera. It's a masterclass in something.
It's a masterclass of something.
Yeah.
In establishing a good
It's-
sense of what's happening off
yeah.
frame without showing it.
It's also a good sense of subversion of violence,
Mhm.
because you're ready for him to go and just capture this guy and kind of beat the shit out of him, and then you don't see that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my favorite things about that movie. But we got off topic again. My other hot take this week. And this
Well,
is
let
one
me just
that-
say one thing.
Oh, let's go.
You need to rewatch Blue Velvet, and you need
Man,
to.
it was so.
You need to do some reading.
You didn't understand it?
You both need to watch Wolf of Wall Street. You both need to watch Wolf of Wall Street.
I'll watch it this week.
I probably
Please.
won't, but
I probably won't. Fucking
Come
bitch.
on.
I mean, maybe I'll. Is it on Netflix?
No.
Is it on
You just gotta
anywhere?
give it a rent. It's like
Dude,
$3.
see, I don't want to spend
Oh,
money.
I have
You
it
got
on
it- you got the
DVD.
DVD?
Yeah, I have it on
Oh, you
DVD.
have the DVD? Oh shit. Maybe I'll wait till next week and we'll borrow it one at a time.
We could just watch it since we have all this time on our hands.
Hey,
I mean,
yeah.
at
What
some
about that?
point.
We could show up early on whenever we do the podcast next week.
Sure.
But maybe I will. But it was just so insufferable for me to sit through, and the dialogue too. I thought was, especially at the start, that was.
I will say, Lynch isn't the best at writing dialogue.
Yeah.
However, everything's done for a reason, and it's all to evoke a feeling.
You really need to watch the next New York.
I really want to, but I won't ruin this because I want to give you Mulholland Drive. But Mulholland
Yeah.
Drive, the first time I saw it, I was like, the acting and dialogue in this movie sucks. And then, as I started reading and analyzing, looking at some things, I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. You know, and now I know why it was directed in that sense.
All right. Yeah, so I like that. I will check it out. Next week we'll do a swap. I'll give you my Symphony, or give me your Mulholland Drive. But going on to my next one, I feel like you and I, Sebastian, I really didn't like the Evil Dead. The first Evil Dead.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
The dialogue was so stupid. I think it was paced.
That is.
Have you seen Evil Dead?
That is the literal.
not.
That is the literal point of the Evil Dead.
No, it was. I feel like the first one was trying to be serious. Dude, the first one.
Dude, they made that with like $50,000.
Really?
Yes.
See, that's impressive.
Dude, insanely low budget. That's why all the kills are made with claymation. And then the second one, they got a big budget for because Raimi made so much money.
And he literally like remade it. It was
Yes, it was. It's
well,
literally.
then the second one really is. It really pulls on that satire idea. But I didn't get the sense of satire from the first one, and I thought the dialogue was just stupid. But I will say about it, I thought that the makeup and like the prosthetics on it were like wholly fantastic.
It's all claymation, dude.
And I thought that was
fantastic.
Great. But just from like the dialogue and like even how long it really takes to get going, I was kind of bored.
Dude, that's the Evil Dead is like the greatest like student film dream. Literally, the Evil Dead was Raimi's student
How is that
film
not
project.
Clerks?
I'm talking like horror movie because I want to make a horror movie.
Okay.
But like Raimi literally had like a $50,000 budget. Something it was so minuscule.
I'm gonna look it up and see what it was.
It was. I want to say it was $50,000. It was.
I know it was definitely
ridiculous.
thousands.
And like, okay, after I finished The Evil Dead, I was instantly like, I need to watch something about The Evil Dead 2 because was not what I was expecting. And then when I watched stuff on The Evil Dead 2, I was like, oh my god, this looks hilarious. This looks great. But The Evil Dead felt like it was trying too much to be an actual horror, not a satire, and didn't know.
So
what
have
it
you
was
seen the
trying to
sequel yet?
It was.
No.
I think
50 to 400,000.
for homework this week, you
50
should
to
watch the
400.
sequel.
Homework.
And then I want to see what you say coming from that.
That's still super low.
Wait, what was the budget?
Well,
The range of $50,000 to $400,000.
it was
I thought it was, like,
also
super low.
1981, so that's around like.
I mean, that's not
a
crazy
lot.
low, but
In 1981, count for inflation. That's.
I don't think Sam Raimi. I could be wrong. May have said in an interview. I'm almost positive Evil Dead 1 wasn't supposed to be that serious either. He just made it because he'd always wanted.
have you seen anything
Well,
else by Raimi?
Yeah, I've seen
part of
so
the
many.
trilogy.
Well, how do you feel
That's
about
different.
It is
think
different,
that's
but
they're pretty great.
He's gonna be doing the Doctor Strange movie.
Is that
Exactly.
is that confirmed? Because
That is
I have not
confirmed.
seen. I have not seen
It's
anywhere
confirmed.
it is double confirmed. I just keep seeing it's speculated that he's doing it.
well, I think
I've
most
seen-
places just confirm it once and then be done.
I swear it was. I thought it was.
Because I hate news like that. I see all the time, like, I don't want to, like, give Trump any credit here, but, like, I'll see a lot of news stories that aren't confirmed, but people roll with it as, like, it is officially confirmed news story when there is no double confirmation on it, and they just run it as, like, a real headline. So I'm almost positive he has not come out and said he's doing it yet. I could be completely wrong. Until I see Raimi come out and say, hey, guys, I'm
Well,
doing
Collin?
it, but
Yeah.
What's that?
You looking it up?
I am.
I need to know,
Yeah.
because I'm almost positive he himself has not come out and said he's doing
I'm
it.
almost positive.
I'm looking at
it's
this.
been
This was the
confirmed.
top one that came up. It came out February 5th. Sam Raimi to direct Doctor Strange sequel.
Oh.
From who? What's the report?
Consequenceofsound.net.
See, that's not like the most. I don't know. I've seen
That's
a
what
lot
I
of
hate
stuff
about
saying
news. That's
it's-
what I hate about headlines.
Well,
I don't see it from the person.
We don't need to worry about it just yet.
Like with
Right.
like again, I'm going to say this: Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. That's a big thing going on right now, and that matters a lot to me because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I actually think that's a perfect cast.
Wait, you like Star Wars?
Yeah, obviously.
Dude, it's Adam Driver. Of course, he likes Star Wars.
But I think that's fantastic casting, but it has not been confirmed by Lucasfilm or any of them yet. It's just everyone's running with it, even though it's
I
just
think you're looking
speculation.
too
right now.
deeply into
Ooh,
this stuff.
listen, this is kind of cool. They interviewed Scott Derrickson when rumors of Sam Raimi directing the sequel came out, and he said it'd be a great choice.
Oh. Well,
But do you see anything about it being 100% confirmed that he's doing it?
Well, like that first article, it said to direct. Sam Raimi is to direct.
I don't. Maybe we'll see. Let's move topics. I didn't think the Evil Dead was that great. I see where he was going, but I think the execution was a little bit
I
flawed.
mean, he
have
made one
yet
of the
to
most
see it,
iconic horror
so-
characters of all
Oh, I
time.
agree. And I think once I watch Evil Dead 2, I'm gonna be like going crazy about Ash. I'm like chainsaw arm. But
Chainsaw.
I mean, I think
I don't
personally
think
my
it's
favorite
much.
Raimi movie is Army of Darkness. So,
I'll have to watch Army of Darkness. I watched
Is that
Evil
the
Dead 2.
boomstick one?
yes. ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so ridiculous.
Alright.
It's. I love it.
Yeah, I didn't really get the satire from Evil Dead though. But moving on, any hot takes from you, Collin?
Really the only one, because I liked most of what I watched this week, but
I think it just means in general, right?
Yeah.
in general,
Just a hot take about film.
I got a lot. I'll just keep it to this one.
Okay.
My mom wanted to watch a Disney movie because that's what my mom does. So we watched Lady and the Tramp. When it comes to classic Disney movies, you guys know this. I haven't seen like anything.
Yeah.
I've seen most of Pixar, but when it comes to classic Disney, I didn't grow up on it. I never watched them as a kid. So we watched Lady and the Tramp, and it was fine. I thought it was like cute, sweet, nice message, classic Disney movie, but I just got nothing out of it,
I'm not gonna lie, I hope you have some stuff to say about this one.
I do, but not what I think you are expecting. I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
Out of all the Disney movies you could have said, I feel like Lady and the Tramp is the one that I kind of walked away from and was like, okay.
Okay, well, what about this? I watched Lion King for the first time last year.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
That's insane.
Now that one I don't know.
Do you like the score?
Well, yeah, the score's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, Hans Zimmer.
I mean, it's a well-made movie. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. The animation's incredible.
What didn't you like?
I just found the story so boring, and I know it's supposed to be familiar because it's Hamlet, But I just found especially the finale. The finale was so rushed. There was so much lapse in time throughout the movie. That was just that if they had maybe gone in detail a bit more, I was like, okay.
Yeah, man, there's Lion King
like
2,
that.
3, 4. How many DVD sequels they made of that fucking movie?
See, but I don't even care about the sequels. I'm talking about.
I mean, all of those are about different things anyway. That's not the story.
Sure, yeah.
I was just joking,
But I just felt like I didn't get a lot. I mean,
I-
I got the main arc. I got the gist of it.
Do
I'm on
you
board.
know the story of Hamlet?
Yeah.
And you knew it going into
Yeah.
that movie? Do you think that had any influence on your dislike?
No, because I knew what I was getting into story-wise,
Mhm.
so I wasn't gonna. I knew it was gonna be familiar territory.
No, I agree with that hot take. No, I do. I've never been a Disney fan per se, in terms of their old films. And a lot of the films I do really enjoy that are animated Disney are the really obscure ones that no one cares about. Like the Black Cauldron, I love the Black Cauldron.
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic.
See.
And I love Sword in the Stone. Those are my two
That's
favorite.
cool.
If they're gonna remake anything live action, it better be Sword in the Stone. That's all I gotta say.
See, a lot of the Disney movies, I've watched almost all of them, including the princess movies. Because I have an older sister who I was young, so I don't remember
Yeah,
them
you
that
don't like
great.
princess movies?
I love princess
They're
movies.
great. They really are.
See, but another thing with
But-
Lion King. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, no. And I'll always just say is that it's been a while, but I'd love to rewatch it and be like,
Yeah.
if it still has that same connection that same connection as I did as a child,
Yeah. And it may very well be that I didn't watch these movies as a kid, but at the same time, I just watched Inside Out for the first time the other day, and it hit me. I mean, it made me cry during the movie.
Really?
I think
That's Pixar, right?
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm
Pixar's in
saying.
a different realm.
Pixar's on a whole nother level. They're able to communicate complex themes to kids and adults in such a deep and layered
Up
way
kills me every time.
that I mean,
Well, you see, I
whereas,
have a hot take
Disney
about this.
films
Well,
don't.
the intro to Up kills me.
No, I just the whole movie in general.
Really?
Yeah, no, the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
speaking of Pixar, oh my god, the second Soul trailer. Soul looks like it's gonna be. top
No,
of
it
Pixar. Looks so
it looks
good.
really. To me personally, it looks.
What were you gonna say, Jordan?
Oh, I was gonna say I don't really care for Inside Out very much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. Just like I don't think
I-
Cars 2 is necessarily bad. I think they're all pretty decent.
I agree with this.
But the thing is, with Inside Out, there's just something. It just felt like it was missing something. Something that
Yeah.
pretty much all Pixar movies have.
No, I
It
agree.
was good, but I went into it expecting. Granted, I saw it a year or two after it came out, so I went into it with some expectations.
Sure.
But just like you would with any Pixar movie, just like when I saw Onward, went in with similar expectations. You expect it to be a certain level of quality.
Yeah.
But I watched it and I was just kind of
No, same.
left without.
I don't know. I
Is the
really
best
It's not my
part.
favorite Pixar movie at all.
It,
Like,
it was
I think it's
very-
top 5 for me, honestly.
I
Really?
Pixar movies. Yeah, I really liked it.
We'll have to go in depth.
Do
on
you know what I
each
think
have
it
a top
is?
five
Do
Pixar
you know
movies
personally
on
it's
the
what-
podcast.
I have a Pixar ranked list on
I think it's
this.
the soundtrack. Because the thing with Up for me is, it is kind of a meme, but the intro with the soundtrack, it kills me.
Oh,
like the
it's
sound, like the
incredible.
soundtrack is fantastic. Without that soundtrack from Michael, however the hell you pronounce his last
Giacchino?
name, yes, he That
I don't even
scene
think it's
is
necessarily the
fantastic.
soundtrack.
But
I think it's just scores in general for Pixar movies.
Are usually of a really high quality.
I just didn't
But
like that one though that much.
I kind of do agree with you. I feel like the score for Inside Out was kind of lackluster. Like
I
nothing
liked it.
really remember.
Well, I don't
nothing,
remember anything.
Granted, I'm not saying it was bad,
Sure, yeah.
but nothing. I can't remember off the top of my head anything. I can remember
Up theme
Up.
song.
I can definitely remember Nemo's that ocean ambience. It's beautiful. I can remember Wall-E, but for some reason, Inside Out just isn't. I don't know. There's just something about it to where I watched it and I walked away from it being just okay.
Yeah.
Just okay.
Where'd we get here from?
I was talking about Lion King.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's not
so I
Disney
thought
now,
Lady and the Tramp was fine. You know,
The live action remake?
I didn't see that.
Does it have Danny DeVito in that somewhere? Is
Dude,
it
I
Danny?
don't know.
Danny DeVito in it?
Yeah. I'm
If
pretty
he's
sure.
in it, I might have
What?
to watch it.
In the
Lady and the Tramp
Lady and
remake?
Tramp remake. I'm pretty sure he's in it somewhere.
Have you
Did
seen
you know
it?
he's in Hercules? Another Disney movie?
I think
I
did
never
know
knew this. Blew my mind.
Now we're all on our phones. What is this nonsense?
that. 2019
This is what
America.
podcasting is.
Jamie,
Sure.
Jamie, pull that up. Pull it up, Jamie.
No, he's not. I was thinking of something else. Tessa Thompson's in it. Oh. All right, moving on. Sebastian, hot take.
What kind of hot take do I have? Well,
Any recent hot takes?
well, I mean, look
Well,
at me right now.
Also,
Well,
I don't think it's a hot
I
take.
feel like a Star Wars episode is something.
We don't need to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
We really, but I think. Remember, a hot take is also a bad movie that you find really, really
I mean,
good.
I think The Room is a
Oh, yeah, The
masterpiece.
Room.
I think
Yeah.
The Room is a masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah, we were going to talk about it.
Yeah. that's
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I was going to mention something to you, right? The Shags, right? One of the greatest bands.
one of the
ever.
greatest bands of all time.
Yeah, I think you can consider The Room a masterpiece in the same way that you can consider Shag's music a masterpiece. It is so bad that it transcends the idea of filmmaking to an extent. The same way
100%. But
the Shags transcend the idea of music.
But with The Room, you know, I've seen The Room. I don't know, probably upwards of 30 times at this point.
That's insane.
I've seen The Room. I show everyone The Room, and I went to a showing and I saw The Room in a theater, and it was like one of the best theater experiences I've
It was
ever
fun.
done. It was so much fun.
Yeah. I
And
saw
then
it
just
at an event.
then showing
That sounds pretty
showing everyone that I know The Room and just seeing their actual reaction to it. It's just everyone loves it. I have never shown The Room to someone and they did not not like it. It's so bad.
Yeah, you really got to be
So-
like someone who just can't have a good time to not enjoy.
No,
the
it's
movie.
so good. But that's what's so funny about it. It's like Tommy
I have a
totally
question.
did not anticipate that.
Can something be considered a masterpiece if the reception is not the aim? Does that make sense?
If
Yeah.
the reception.
Do you
So-
are you
If
implying
a
this-
director
Well, he's literally
or a
talking about how
writer,
he
if they,
considers-
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. But not just for this specific thing, because I don't want to pick on The Room. It's
I
been
think-
done a million times.
Besides, like The Godfather and stuff like that, I think masterpiece is a subjective term.
Well, it is subjective, but like,
And even then, The Godfather is some people out there that don't like The Godfather.
Yeah.
They
but it is.
exist,
I
so
mean,
it's still their
but
opinion.
it's but reception to it is that The Godfather is a masterpiece to most people.
Yeah.
To most, that's. I mean, I think it's.
This is a differing opinion.
Yes, but I think The Room, legitimately and honestly, is a masterpiece.
So if you were gonna rate it on Letterboxd, what would you give it? Would you give it a
5
half
stars.
star? You give it a 5 star.
Yes, because I okay. Look, yes, it's bad, right?
But you
I
think
mean, we all know that. But the thing is, I watch it. Like when I first watched it, I didn't know anything about it. I just had heard that it's very bad.
Mhm.
So I'm expecting like this fucking abysmal film. Like I'm gonna watch like, I don't know, some just student film, something so bad. I didn't know the backstory, didn't know anything. I just watched it for the first time as it was. And then when I watched it and I walked out of it, like just me and my friends put it on. It's so good. Like yes, the dialogue is awful. Everything about it is so bad. But he like unintentionally made something just so it's like wholesome almost, because it's like to me like it's pretty wholesome, just like when you like learn about it in the backstory and then you watch the movie knowing like what his intentions were. It's so wholesome knowing that like he just wanted to make a movie, and I love it. It's so bad but it's so good, and I laugh every time. I notice more inconsistencies and like really awful like mic like sound things in the back, like
It's,
people
it's,
breathing.
it's a terribly made movie.
Yes, but it's so
And-
good.
yeah.
But the heart behind it and the effort put into it is admirable.
I just think there will never be a movie with that crazy of a backstory, that bizarre.
I could agree with that.
That's why I think.
Yeah.
That's why personally I think it's a masterpiece. There will never ever be
another Room.
a movie that that wholesome, that bad good.
Which is funny because he was trying to make something similar to a
Yes.
Mr. Ripley.
And he thought that's what I'm saying. Like back to your point.
He paid to keep it in theaters for the 2-week run to get it.
Yeah, he unintentionally made something so
To reach
bad.
but really.
Yeah.
That's why.
You have to have
Wow.
a film has to be in theaters for at least 2 weeks to be eligible for Oscar
really?
contention.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that's why The
he
Irishman
paid.
had a. Well, also because Martin Scorsese probably would have freaked out if The Irishman didn't have a theatrical run.
Yeah.
But no, I really do. I love Tommy Wiseau. I love everything about that man. I really do. I'm
The
honestly,
enigma.
it's inspiring to me because I'm a film student as well. Hopefully, I will get there eventually. But I just the whole story about The Room and how it was made. It's just wholesome to me. It really is. It's so wholesome. Watching The Disaster Artist, which is about how they made The Room with James Franco, which I love.
Yeah,
I love
really
it.
like The Disaster
I love it. It's just. I don't know. That's how I wish
Do you have any 24
my
lists?
movie would get noticed or
Do you have
something.
any 24 lists?
No.
I made one recently.
Yeah.
That was,
Really?
yeah. I mean, even
Have
my.
you seen most of them, or you just started?
I've seen 20.
There's a lot.
There's
Yeah.
quite a bit though.
So I think there's around 60.
I loved Waves.
But that's one I missed. I wish I saw it.
I loved
Waves
Waves.
was good.
I mean, but even my lowest rated A24 movie is a 3. So still.
Which one's
What's the
that?
worst one?
Swiss Army Man for me.
Yeah, I didn't really care for Swiss Army Man.
I think that it really has its moments where it really is full apart, and
Speaking of, what the fuck has happened to Daniel Radcliffe?
He's somehow
He's having his own little action career.
I
right
know,
now.
but it's so weird.
Apparently
It's so
he
weird to
said
me.
that after making millions of dollars as a 12-year-old, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm making movies to make movies and have fun."
Yeah,
It's almost like Pattinson at this point. But he's
very, very different.
But you know what I mean? No, okay. But
Pattinson tries to make good movies. Dan Radcliffe's like,
I
a
wouldn't
farting corpse?
I wouldn't say
Fuck
that.
yeah.
I wouldn't say that at first. Pattinson after Twilight, he was making some
What, Cosmopolitan?
just making
Is that
weird
one?
shit, and now he's now he's in the indie.
I would equate him more to his name is slipping my mind. The guy from Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
The
Elijah
name-
Wood. Well, they also have very similar tracks. They were both
But that's what I'm saying. I think they're both very
So
similar. They were on
strange.
these crazy huge movies that were way bigger
Yeah.
than them,
And
and
now
then they
look,
just kind of do what
look
they
at
want.
Pattinson, dude. He's about to be Batman. You know how crazy that is?
Yeah,
Like,
even
if you told me 10 years ago that Robert Pattinson is
I
going
mean,
to
you
be
could even
Batman.
equate this to someone like Hugh Jackman, who got stuck playing the Wolverine for
Yeah.
20-something years. And then after that, he did The Greatest Showman. Because he just wanted to act. He just wanted to be an actor.
He can
and
also
make
sing.
movies. Yeah, exactly, because he's from a
I mean,
Broadway
he
background.
did Les Mis too.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I think what's funny is that bringing up Robert Pattinson, Elijah Wood, and Daniel Radcliffe, it's like the trifecta of young actors who made too much money while they were young and were like, all right, we're doing indie movies now, right? And you can kind of see a level of success, right? Daniel Radcliffe made the most money because he was in Harry Potter, said, fuck it, I'm fucking nailing,
guns akimbo.
Yeah, I'm nailing guns to my hand and shooting people, or I'm playing a farting corpse. Elijah was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go off, do a couple better things. I'm gonna
And then
do,
we got
Eternal
weird show with the
Sunshine.
dog.
Wilfred,
right?
Wilfred's pretty good.
Yeah.
I saw a few episodes. It's
So,
funny.
you can see the trajectory, right? Makes the most money.
Pattinson's
falls
all
down.
over the place.
And then
though.
Pattinson
What the fuck
did
is-
Twilight, which
He was in Harry Potter too.
Least
He
he
was
was in Harry Potter,
qualified.
but he did the least popular of the three, and then makes these super critically acclaimed movies, and
And
is
now he's fucking
stepping
Batman.
up to be a household name level actor.
And he's Batman.
He's fucking Batman.
Which is insane to think about.
Hey,
Which, by the way, that is a
Sebastian.
movie that was not delayed. They have not delayed production on
I
Batman.
think Batman
Unless they
did
just
get
did. They were acting like they
No,
were
I
still going to
think
keep
it got
going.
delayed
I think it
because
got
someone
delayed. Yeah, they
got
just did.
a full body paralysis.
Because they were acting like, we aren't
paralysis
stopping
on
production
the
on
set.
this movie. We're going to keep going.
Well, no, somebody got hit in the head with a crane on the set and paralyzed their
Oh, I
body.
heard it was because of Corona.
Well, that too, but that happened when I said,
Nice.
which was pretty awful.
Well, what does
But-
everyone think of that, by the way? I'm a little curious.
I'd
what
be
you
very
guys think.
interested to know what's still in production. Do you think
Yeah.
there's...
I
Because
I don't
surely
think
there's got to be
any
something.
really doubt.
I doubt anything. I bet some student filmmakers are like, this is my chance.
Yeah, this is my time to rise.
I'm gonna make the one movie that comes out this week and everyone will watch
This
it.
is my chance to do the Joker stairs.
I'm a joker.
Well, there's no one there.
This is my chance to be the Joker, baby.
Oh God, he managed to pull it in.
That's 2 memes in one episode.
I like how I looked at the camera as I said it.
But yeah,
I don't think there's anything in
But
production.
I like that take a
Big
lot.
movies.
Hot takes. Jordan.
Hot takes?
hit me with those hot takes.
Okay, so I think my hot take for this week is going to be
Let me know.
not only a hot take, but it's also because I'm very interested to know what you think.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
And I think you may have reviewed this movie on
Okay.
Letterboxd. I
Wait,
think
did you figure out the
may-
one you were talking?
No, because you did review this one. You didn't.
Oh, okay.
It's not one you haven't reviewed. So recently I rewatched a very good hit movie from 2007 called Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
And I knew this was a good comedy movie going into it. But after rewatching it, I honestly think it's one of the best comedy movies I've
It's
ever
really
seen.
funny.
What's
It's
Hot Rod?
really
And the reason I say this
Andy
is
Samberg
because
plays the stuntman.
Dude, that's another one I find insufferable.
I've never heard of this.
I hate
Oh, yeah,
Hot
you
Rod.
didn't like that.
I hate Hot Rod.
He
I've
did
never
do
seen
you?
We talked about this last night. What do you mean? Do you?
I do
never
not
seen it,
remember this
never
at
heard of
all.
Never Dude. heard of it?
I've never heard of it.
I feel like if I showed you the poster, you'd probably.
Well,
Basically,
really,
Andy
you should
Samberg,
have
this is
posted.
like right off of SNL for Bill Hader,
Okay.
Andy Samberg, alright? And they're both in this movie.
Well, yeah.
All the
Danny
Lonely Island
McBride,
guys are in this.
Isle of Fishers.
Yeah, this is when Danny McBride was just coming off of
For sure.
the baseball show on HBO. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Field of Dreams.
Eastbound and Down?
Huh?
Eastbound and Down?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Something.
Something.
Anyway, they were all coming up. So Andy Samberg plays a 20-something, maybe like teenager,
I think he's supposed to be a teenager. Yeah.
like probably like 19, 20, something like that.
Yeah.
He's got to be older. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, I think
he wants to be a stuntman because his dad was a stuntman. But this movie is just so absurd, but for all the right reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Every time
That's how you do parody right.
the whole premise of the movie
I'll
is he
bring
wants to
something up
save
after this,
he
okay.
wants to save his dad or his stepdad. And
So
it's like,
tell me
great,
about-
something you've heard a million times. It's doing something heroic so you can save somebody.
Yeah, but the reason is.
But the reason is because he wants to beat his ass. And if he dies, he can't beat his ass.
You really?
I have never heard of this.
It's
film.
pretty good.
That's your homework for this week. There
I
you go.
disagree.
I was so impressed by this.
I don't like Andy Samberg, like his comedy in
See,
general. I think
neither
Brooklyn
do
Nine-Nine
I,
is
actually.
awful.
Well, I agree. I don't like Andy Samberg's comedy. I think it applies to Hot Rod for me personally, but I liked Popstar quite a bit.
See, I haven't seen Pop Star.
Popstar
Neither
is
have I.
pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
I just don't get me wrong. I think Andy Samberg is very likable, but every time I've seen him in anything, I just don't like his style of comedy. I think it's very like 12-year-old.
It's
humor.
very like
Me personally.
immature humor.
It is,
Yeah.
but that's not
like,
my favorite.
Which is
humor.
weird because usually I don't like that stuff, but
Hot Rod just
Hot Rod, dude.
There's something special about it, you know what I mean?
I think
I think you should watch it,
Like,
Sebastian. I
the-
think you'd be impressed.
the cool
Maybe.
dance scene, like literally.
That's one of the scenes I don't
my
like.
God. Oh, thank God you said that. If you're like, dude, what? That's like comedy
Yeah,
master. No,
There are a few jokes throughout the movie that kind of go on too long or just should have been cut.
I think a lot of the jokes to me just I find unfunny.
What film?
Hot Rod.
They were so
But
like,
I feel like that's something you could equate to any comedy movie.
Sure.
Oh.
Not many comedy movies you watch and everything.
Excuse me,
fits.
The Room is
Yeah.
perfect.
So, speaking of how you just talked about something that's like not traditionally considered a great comedy movie,
Mhm.
in the sense that maybe like I don't know, Fargo is considered one of the, to an extent, comedy, one of the best
Yeah,
comedies.
It's a
Yeah.
comedy.
With Black
I
on.
think
Yeah, it's a black
maybe
comedy.
even top 3 comedies of all time for me too. Kumar Go to White Castle.
I haven't
I
seen
fucking love. No, it's
It's
hilarious.
so
it's hilarious.
funny.
No, it's hilarious.
And
Now, I remember you talking
just
about
talked-
this the other
Yeah.
No, what's with us and like 2 of us have seen a movie and the other 2 haven't? It's
Yeah.
so weird dynamic.
You and I talked about Blue
And it's
Velvet, and then
flipping
you
all
guys
over
were on
the
your
place.
phone.
It's
and
flipping all over the place.
then, no, I think Harold
It means
Kumar
we're a
Go to White
diverse
Castle
cast.
Yeah, exactly.
was
No, it's
so
hilarious.
funny, and that's what you just mentioned. How like no movie can be 100% funny. There's not a scene in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle where I'm not laughing. Bye, Gordon. I think it's hilarious.
No, I White Castle.
I recommend watching it, by the way. Even if you don't smoke pot, it's still hilarious. My mom talked about it. I was talking about it to my mom, and she was just like, yeah, no, I still love it.
I don't know what he's off camera, whatever he's doing, but okay. This is another kind of hot take on terms of comedy. I personally do not like any of like the Seth Rogen and like
James Franco
Yes.
movies.
I think
I agree
they're
with that.
all pretty awful. I think Pineapple Express, I hear like people love that movie. I watched it for the first time a couple months ago. I did not crack a laugh once. Bill Hader is also in that. There's a whole bunch of the SNL
Bill
cast
Hader
that's in
in
that
it?
movie. Yeah, there's a lot of people in that
Bill
movie,
Hader's one of my
and
favorite
I thought it
movies.
was one of the stupidest films I've ever seen. I didn't laugh a single time. I thought the humor was so bad.
Yeah, you know, I like James Franco.
Yeah, I think he's a
himself,
great actor.
And
He is.
sometimes
Same Seth Rogen
Rogen
too. Yes.
can be fine.
And Seth Rogen's first performance and his first lines. Donnie
Yeah.
Darko is his first
Dude,
movie.
his first line is,
His-
"I like your boobs."
Yes,
To
that is
General
Seth Rogen's
Long.
first fucking line ever in the movie.
Donnie Darko's, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah,
It's my second favorite.
That'll be
movie.
one of my other homeworks. I'll watch Evil Dead 2 and Donnie Darko.
Please watch Donnie Darko.
I will.
But
Like,
I completely agree with what you're saying. Like the Rogen and
the Rogen Franco
the Rogen
dynamic
Franco
just doesn't
dynamic
work
is
for
not
me.
funny. This is the end. I absolutely hated.
I don't. Yeah. It.
Couldn't stand it.
I think it's okay. I think that one. What I found slightly funny in that one is, oh my god, look at all these Hollywood actors playing themselves in this crazy situation
I
like
liked the
coronavirus.
premise or the idea of it, but yeah.
I like
It's not, yeah, it's not good.
The interview.
The interview I
I
find.
absolutely hated it.
Yeah,
My brother and I didn't even finish it. We just turned it
I
off.
like the interview, but I was 13.
Yeah.
I think it's funny in certain aspects. I just like the fact that that movie actually pissed off Kim Jong Un.
That's hilarious.
I think that's
you have to
hilarious.
admit that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was ridiculous.
But you two should watch The Colin White Castle. Homework, right? I'm gonna watch Evil Dead 2.
Donnie
and
Darko, please.
Donnie Darko. You two need to watch Colin White Castle. You need to watch Hot Rod.
Is it on anywhere?
It's on Netflix.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a classic. Well, because
It's so good.
okay, if we're gonna talk about comedies really quick, I have to bring this up because we brought it up earlier. I have to say that Clerks. It's
I
one of
haven't
my.
seen it.
It's
I
one of my
need to
favorite.
Still haven't
films.
seen Clerks either.
Yeah.
Has no one seen Clerks here? It's just me. Well, I gotta plug Clerks real quick for my boy Kevin Smith. Dude,
Yeah,
Clerks.
I haven't seen any Kevin Smith movie.
Well,
I need to see them.
yeah, I know you've seen Dog.
I've seen Dogma.
I love Dog.
Dog is on Netflix. It's one I'm gonna be watching soon.
But Clerks, I think that's what I got mixed up with. I'm almost positive he made that with $50,000.
I think that's
I
right.
think that's what it is. Okay, because I know he made that on super tight budget. It is so funny. It is so because that's how I envisioned like my first student film to be is like Clerks, like something like that. Because
Yeah.
he made that with like no money,
Yeah.
and he did it literally the.
I mean,
the
if you want to talk
store.
about no money,
Yes,
talk
yeah.
about following. You know how much money that was made for?
I know it's really low.
$6,000.
Yeah, actually, I know he made a short film, which was pretty successful. and like,
Doodlebug, yeah.
yeah, and
I'll
like,
be getting
all
on
the.
track.
Sorry.
Homework.
No.
Clerks. You
Clerks.
need to watch Clerks, please.
Dude, I already have like 4
It's-
pieces of homework, man.
No, he like.
I'm trying to do like school
There's so
projects.
many.
Fuck you,
There's
this
so many
podcast.
iconic quotes from Clerks.
Have you seen the meme of Baby Yoda walking up to a desk?
Yes.
And that's so
Well, yeah, that's
funny.
what I'm saying. There's so many iconic scenes from it, and it's so good.
I'll watch
And
it.
Did you see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot?
yes, I did. I thought it was great because I have a long attachment to like Kevin Smith because I grew up on. My mom made me watch Clerks at a very young age, which I don't think it was a really good idea once you see the movie. But I'm not going to spoil anything. It's so great. But there's a scene that I really don't know why my mom you made me watch this movie as a kid, but she made me watch a lot of really questionable films to show your child.
See,
My mom's a great mom, but I mean,
I kind of have a similar story in a different sense. My parents always told me, I played guitar from a very young age, and they'd always joke. So it was one time at band camp, whenever I'd say anything about like guitar, and I didn't know jack shit about it. So I like Googled it when I was like 10, and I figured out American Pie. We owned it on DVD. I took the DVD and watched it in secret when I was like 10.
Oh my god.
that's
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Like,
I don't know if I could beat you on that one. I mean,
Clerks
when
is
you
great.
say Clerks, there's a scene where I just, as a kid, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Really?
Like, it's hilarious.
I'll
but
get it
it-
as
you have
an
to
adult,
trust me.
though.
You have to watch it. It's
I got no stories like that.
timeless.
Really?
No,
No.
dude. I grew up. My mom made me. I watched Halloween, the first Halloween, at like 6 or 7 years old.
Gee.
My mom. That's just what I watched. I watched shit like that all the time.
I think John Carpenter is a genius.
Yes.
I think from
We're just fucking hopping all over the place.
I think that he's great at directing. I think he's great at writing in the sense that
music's fucking
he's-
incredible.
And that I think that's his best part. The fact that he writes, directs, and then scores his own films.
There's no one like John Carpenter.
I think he's amazing.
There will never be another John Carpenter when that man passes away.
I think that I love it when a director does as much behind the camera as he wants, right? Because Mike Flanagan writes, directs, and edits his own films. John Carpenter writes, directs, and scores. By the second that the director goes in front of the camera and behind the camera, there's something puts me off about that. You know?
So what are you gonna? Okay, well then that's gonna bring up a hot take for you. What do you think about
like
Tarantino?
acting in a movie?
What do you think about Tarantino, like jumping in his own movies?
I love Tarantino, but I think my least favorite scene in Pulp Fiction is what's it?
What? Dude,
Yeah.
Jimmy's my favorite
Dude, what?
Tarantino character. I absolutely love Jimmy.
I don't like it when Tarantino goes inside his own movie.
That's so funny. That's
I
what's so
love
funny
Jimmy.
to me.
Yeah.
No.
Lynch acts in a lot of his too. He's actually like a main character in Twin Peaks. No, not.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I
Wait.
loved him in What the Jack Do, but it's like a smaller scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Collin.
Twin Peaks. He's like the FBI guy. He's like the head of the FBI.
So okay, I have been wanting to get into Twin Peaks for a long time.
Me too.
Please tell me why it is worth my time.
Okay,
And I'm
so-
talking about the whole show.
Well, first of all, the pilot is one of the best pilots I've ever seen. Okay.
Okay.
It establishes the world. It establishes the characters. It establishes the stakes. It establishes the relationships and what's going on in the world perfectly.
Because I don't even know what it's about. I have no idea.
Do you want me to tell you what
I
it's about?
think
Just
very
give me
well,
a little. Give me a little taste.
I think
Okay, so-
something like that you should just go in completely blind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the
No,
tagline.
like-
Tagline. I'll tell you the tagline.
Yeah.
Who killed Laura Palmer?
Oh, yeah.
She was the homecoming queen of this small town, and she died.
Okay.
And who killed Laura Palmer?
So it's just a big mystery.
It's a
Yeah,
mystery,
it's like an
but it's a
FBI
David
story.
Lynch mystery. you know?
So-
it gets weird.
It gets
I'm
weird.
intrigued.
It gets weird.
I definitely won't.
How many seasons is it?
The original series was 2 seasons.
Then there was the reboot.
Eight,
Right?
8 episodes, and then there was 22 episodes in the second season.
Wasn't Lynch not attached to the second?
No, he
He was?
he
Okay,
did.
gotcha.
He had free reign to do whatever he
Oh,
wanted.
really?
Are you talking about the second season or the second?
Do you mean the
Second
reboot?
season.
Well,
Well, not the
it's not
reboot, but
reboot.
the
It's season
new.
3.
It came out a
Season
couple years
3.
ago, right?
It's called The Return. It's season 3.
Is that
It's a
Lynch
continuation?
still attached?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
I thought I read somewhere that Lynch wasn't attached to one season.
So did
No.
season 2 not finish the show?
Here, so this is what happened.
Okay.
So
Well,
season,
don't spoil it.
No, I'm not going to tell you
Yeah.
what happened. But season 1, it was pretty much David Lynch, and he co-created with this guy Mark Frost.
Yeah.
He wasn't as involved with season 2 because he was doing other stuff.
Mm.
So the middle section of season 2 slows down a bit. It's still good, you know. But the finale to season 2 is amazing because the show was canceled.
Oh,
And
so you just have to go.
So no one
holds back.
Well, they filmed
He
it.
had to end it.
It ended, but no, but you did, like the ending. I mean, it just ended like that episode would have ended, and then it got canceled. So people, like
Return.
fans, were like, "What the heck?" So 25 years later, they decided
That's
to
sick.
the return, and it's amazing because in the series, 25 years later is super significant to the plot.
Because like,
And
Twin
which
Peaks
is
the
Wait,
original
does it-
is a 4.5 and the return is a 4.6.
Yeah.
So they're,
So wait, did they get the original cast returned for
Yeah.
the? That's impressive.
There were a few cast members that died, so I mean, they just weren't characters.
But are the main characters? in
Yeah,
it?
all the
That's kind of incredible.
Incredible.
I read, who's the lead guy in Twin Peaks?
Collin.
Yeah, I read somewhere that he doesn't even know what's going on half the time in Twin Peaks.
Like people want a season 4 because the way season 3 ends
Don't-
is just. I'm not gonna say it, but it's just scared the heck out of me. And you know, but I don't know if David Lynch would want to.
All right.
But you guys gotta watch Twin Peaks. It's
I
absolutely
think
incredible.
we should check the time, make sure we're not going to like a 90-minute podcast.
No, I think we already have, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. We should probably wrap up.
We've gone like 90 minutes.
Does anyone want to do any final closing thoughts?
This was fun.
Watch
This was
Clerks.
fun. I definitely want to do this again.
Yeah.
Watch
It's
Clerks.
actually
Watch
pretty
Clerks.
We could
Watch
probably-
Clerks.
Probably
Watch-
get more structure next time.
Wolf of
Yeah.
Wall Street.
Yeah, Wolf of
Oh,
Wall Street.
I got a
first.
list. Don't worry, Thomas.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time I pick up my phone, there's a reason to it.
Well,
Yeah,
now I'm
White
gonna watch
Castle.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
I'm
White
gonna
Castle.
finally watch it.
Yeah.
I've been bothered by so many
people.
people. I've been bothered by so many people to watch it.
You should watch Hot Rod and see which side you land on.
I already know I'm probably gonna land on the. I hate
Mine.
Andy Samberg. I hate him.
Yeah, you should watch Hot Rod and Popstar when you get the chance. I still like Popstar.
Because I remember when I was 12 years old, I thought Andy Samberg was funny, but now looking back on it, I just
Yeah.
his humor is like literally for 12-year-olds.
I don't know. I think you should watch Popstar too because I think Popstar is definitely.
No, I've seen Popstar.
Oh, you have? Do you like
Yes,
Popstar?
I like Popstar.
Okay, cool. 'Cause it's definitely a different
You may like
style of
that.
Sandberg, to be honest.
Well, that's why I liked it because
Yeah.
he wasn't annoyingly like.
He was annoyingly childish.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why I don't.
Which it's funny because it's like a character that is meant to be super childish, but in a sense,
It was kind of
it was
self-aware.
very self-aware.
Yes, that's
which
why
I
I
love
like
it.
it.
Let's wrap up. We never really thought of an outro.
No, that was one thing we didn't think of.
Well, thanks for
Bye.
watching the post-production podcast. This was a great time. I'm sure barely anyone's actually going to watch this, but thank you. This has been Jordan, Sebastian, and Collin, and also Thomas, but I said and before I said my name.
Close enough.
Signing off.
Signing off. Until next time.
Don't you hate it when white girls laugh at the movies?